Hey everybody, it's Jeff and Lori, Gen X Villagers. Coming to you today with a video. It's going to be a little bit more serious than what we've talked about in the past because some news has come up today that I wanted to just throw out my ideas. And these are just my ideas. This is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. I'm just a guy on YouTube. But we're talking about finance and how to get mortgages and those kinds of things because that's part of buying a house for many of us. I understand that about 50%, 60% of people that buy in the villages buy with cash. But my generation, the Gen Xers, who are still working, are probably going to have a higher amount, percentage-wise, of people that actually are going to have a mortgage. Some of it's because we haven't saved all the money that we needed for retirement. Some of it's because we just can't get to that money yet until a certain age, and so we don't have penalties and taxes for taking it out for down payments and such. But getting back to what I was going to talk about, it's going to seem like maybe I'm rambling a little bit, but I just want to throw out my ideas for you guys. We've been talking about the differences between renting and buying, Lori and I have, and which one's going to be better for us. And we've gone back and forth several times. Renting sounds good because of all the logistics of if you rent, you can take some time to move all your stuff down there. Are you going to move all your stuff down there? We're starting to talk about just getting rid of it, all of it up here, because it's going to cost us, $10,000 to move it all down there. And we can get a heck of a lot of brand new furniture for $10,000. I know that doesn't go a whole long way, but it would for us. So we've been talking about renting, and then today, and we talked about buying. Buying is a little more difficult for us because we don't have access to the money that we need for down payment just yet. It's coming, probably the first of the year. We think if everything kind of plays out correctly, we're going to have our down payment money then, and have most of everything that we want paid off. So we flip-flop back and forth, and now today with some new information, I just want to throw out some for you guys to think about. We still don't know if the timing's going to be right for us financially to do it, but I think what I heard today is going to speed things up for us, at least a little bit, if not a bunch. So what I heard today was that Trump is trying to get Fed Chairman Powell replaced. So in the White House press meeting this morning, his press secretary was talking about all of the countries that have reduced their rates, that their bank lending rates between banks and what have you, their central bank lending rates, which in turn plays into the rest of their economies in their countries as far as their citizens either buying a house or buying a car or having a credit card, all those rates that affect regular consumers. And so Fed Chairman Powell here in the United States hasn't reduced rates at all. There's no inflation, and the reason he is saying, or the Federal Reserve governors have said that they're not reducing rates is because they have a little bit of a fear of inflation happening. Well, what's going to happen is, in my opinion, again, this is not financial advice, but what's going to happen is they're going to wait so long that they're actually going to make inflation happen. And here's how, in my mind, this all plays out, because I've been through this like many of you have. We've been through these cycles so many times. So again, in my opinion, if the Fed chair doesn't lower rates, he's going to look like he's politically biased, because he did lower rates right before the election for the previous administration, and things were actually better then than they are now. Now he doesn't want to, and so it looks politically motivated. So he's either A, going to have to do it just because it looks politically motivated and he needs to do it based on that, which is not the right reason to lower rates, but they do need to be lowered some, because the economy for a large portion of the consumers is not going well. People are losing their jobs, and we've had inflation on food. Funny thing, just a side note, it's funny how the inflation indicators that the government talks about all the time, they exclude food, energy, cars, rent, those things that almost all of us have to pay. when we're middle class. And so they just look at a number that excludes those things. So that's just a side note. But if he ends up replacing Fed Chairman Powell soon, first of all, that would be unprecedented because his term is not up until May of 2026. But if they're trying to force him out at this point and he steps down, I think a couple of things happen, and here's what happens. First of all, the stock market will not like it at all. And stocks will drop and bonds will increase. And there's a correlation with bonds that if bond prices increase, rates fall. And so then it might be a better time to get into a house if rates start falling. Well, the other thing is, the other way is if Fed Chairman Powell decides to drop rates, well, that starts the economy back up again, and then inflation is going to take off, which is what he's actually worried about. So he's in this conundrum where he can't do something, and if he doesn't do something, he's going to be replaced. Again, I'm not trying to be political. I'm not kind of in that right now, the political game. But if he gets replaced, I feel like the market's going to drop. Not only the stock market, but the housing market will crash with that, or continue to crash, or end up crashing, or whatever it's going to do for a short period of time. And then when that happens, prices are going to drop, interest rates are going to drop, and then everybody's going to rush in all at once because there's this balloon, this growing balloon of people who want to come in and buy houses. And so I hope that kind of makes sense to you. So just to wrap all of that up, if he replaces Fed Chairman Powell, or if Fed Chairman Powell decides to step down, or if Fed Chairman Powell decides to lower rates significantly, I think that might speed up what Lori and I's plans are. We might end up having to buy instead of rent, and buy sooner than we think. So I hope all that makes sense. If not, put your comments in the, down below, questions down below, and I'll try to answer all of them that I can. Again, it's not financial advice. I'm not an expert at it. It's just I've been through a few of these cycles, and you know what you know. So I wouldn't want any of you that watch our channel to kind of get left out of that process. And just again, Lori and I, it may speed us up a little bit, but I don't know if we're going to be able to or not. We're going to have to see. We're going to try and get funds kind of moved a little bit faster than we've talked about to get into places, because some of your money has to be seasoned in your bank account for 90 days or more if you're going to use it for a down payment, blah, 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 all that stuff. And so just wanted to throw that out there. Hope y'all are doing well, and please like and subscribe if you got anything out of this message. I appreciate y'all. We love you guys. We'll see you on the next one.